So will Esther, the soul of Esther, who brings us Abraham, as she passes out of this physical body and then eventually reemerges into another physical body,
she doesn't have to wait to emerge into another physical body. In other words, it's not only one up at a time.
Okay.
It's a stream of energy.
Okay.
It's a stream of energy.
So to see if I understand, would Esther come back in another physical body and be able to pick up where she left off?
Seems to be the path that she is on.
Okay.
When she was introduced to this idea, she and Jerry said, when it became clear to them that they were going to be part of a process like this, Jerry said, but don't all of those people have terrible endings? And they were told, not all of them. So it's something that Esther is, yes, as many of you as well. You are all extensions. This is what we have referred to as family of teachers. So an intention to come with the express delight of living enough life and staying close enough to alignment to begin to articulate it in more obvious fashion. But in all fairness, Esther is not doing anything that all of you aren't doing. In other words, you are all extensions of, and you know it. Often you are tuned in and feeling it. They've just been at it. It's been something that they've intended. It was something that was in their vortex before they were born. It is something that when they found resonant with it, it called them. It's something that they want to do. In other words, when you reach the place where you are free of enough resistance that your vortex can really call you, that's when you can really feel what you meant to do when you made the decision to come forth. And that's there for all of you, you see. And meanwhile, many people say, but I'm sure that I haven't heard that calling. And we say, it's not because the calling isn't there. You're just translating it less clearly. And for Esther, the clarity came from the simple encouragement to meditate. Because in meditation, she found an absence of resistance. Esther had been free of most resistance for a while. She was living happily ever after. And meditation just quickly brought her to a vibrational place of no resistance at all, which was fortunate because it gave her immediate access to us, which then made her want more access to us because of the deliciousness that she found, you see.
Yeah.
Many of you have been finding it even as you listen to the recordings, even as you sit in a room like this. You are up to speed. You are up to speed so much faster with the energy of Abraham than Esther was able to be. Took her 9 months to find vibrational alignment with Abraham. 9 months of meditating every day before she released enough of the resistance that she was on the wavelength that she could accurately translate the whole of that which we are. And so you can come to a gathering like this or listen to a series of recordings, and in your just simple listening and allowing your vibration to raise, allowing your vortex to bring you into alignment, you're up to speed with that, you see. That's why we're saying there's no ending. That's why we're appreciating the theme of your questions here, because we really want you to understand that you are all without exception, extensions of that which is source energy. And to the degree that you consciously, which is what our friend wanted, that you consciously acknowledge that you are extensions of source energy. We think that's really what the question was really about. It isn't so much that our friend wanted all nests to be feathers. It's that she wanted conscious awareness of where she has come from and what it's all about to be easier. And that's what we are all about. That's what you are all about. In other words, you just can't live as a representative example of alignment and joy without those around you getting in on some of it and beginning to Esther is watching television even on the ship and seeing information being transmitted through commercials that she knows started in this forum. In other words, the word's out. People are understanding that they are more than their physical personas. They are understanding that they are extensions of source. Of course, religions have always known it while they have distorted it rather dramatically. Right. As most religions want religion to be outside. They want God to be outside of you rather than inside of you. Mm-hmm. But this is the time of awakening. It's a time of more people coming to conscious awareness of who they are. And because it's a time of awakening, it's a time when more people will live more joyfully. But the crevasse between those who are in alignment, in conscious awareness of their vortex, and those who aren't, is becoming more dramatic. So the rich are richer, and the poor are poorer, and the well are weller, and the sick are sicker, and the clear-minded are clearer, and the confused are more confused. In other words, the energy is moving faster. The energy is moving faster, and therefore being up to speed with it is more satisfying. When you get up to speed with fast-moving energy, you rock and roll in an exciting new way. And when you're not up to speed with fast-moving energy, it beats you up pretty good. And that's why our emphasis these days, as the energy is faster, so much faster than 10 years ago, so much faster than 20 years ago. In other words, the contrast is greater, the asking is greater, the summoning is greater, the stream is moving faster, the vortex is spinning faster, it is calling you more. And when you go, you feel better, and when you don't, you really know it. Yeah. And that is the reason, now that you are experiencing, leading edge creators that you are, this feeling of delight when you're in the vortex and agony when you're not. Mm-hmm. That's why we're talking about going general. Go general. Deconstruct the thought. De-emphasize. Anything that doesn't feel good, play it down, play it down, play it down. Anything that does feel good, play it up, play it up, play it up. If it's something that feels good, be as specific as you can be. If it's something that feels bad, be as least specific as you can be. In other words, learn to mold the energy through the vibrational center of your being and feel your way into alignment with Source, and then live the joyful life that the co-creator, you and your inner being, live. You could not be. Doctors pronounce you dead when the energy of your source is not flowing through you. And as long as the energy of source is flowing through you, you have the potential of having an equal relationship with that which is source. In other words, you feeling source and you feeding source, and source holding the point of vibration that you've expanded to, and you catching up, and then you feeding source, and then in other words, it's just this eternal process of in and out energy that delights us always. But our greatest delight is when you feel it. So now, getting back to Esther and her father. So instead of her father, talk about the Abraham within you. And think about the energy of that which is who you are, able to translate life clearly through the lens of what you are living. In other words, you are never more understood about where you are than by the inner being who is within you holding that knowing. But the thrill for you is not in the discovery that Source knows. The thrill for you is in giving the Source within you something more to know. Mm-hmm. Co-creation at its best, you see.
Yeah.
Have we convinced you that Source is not all perfect, just waiting for you to finally catch up? Have we convinced you that you are an extension of Source, and that there is no way that we can separate that which is you from that which is us?
Yes.
Good. Very good.